Welcome back to Black Girl Couch Reviews. I'm your host, Christina. We are back for another recap and review of The Flash Season 5, Episode, what is this, 19? Nope, 20, Gone Rogue. This episode was directed by Kristen Wendell and written by Sam Chalson and Joshua V. Gilbert. It had a 1.37 demographic this week, so down from last week significantly by 30%. At least, my math sucks, but somewhere around that line. I'm gonna be real transparent with you right now. I am really sick. So if my voice does not sound up to par, it's because I just don't feel well. And I'm probably not going to make this an extra long podcast because my stomach is still bothering me. But I did want to get this out tonight because I made these promises this month and I am going to fulfill my gosh damn promises, half sick and everything. But this was a pretty okay episode. It was not particularly, great, but it wasn't the worst thing they've put out. That still goes to Caitlin's episode. Let me stop being mean already. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Just being real transparent with y'all. And it's also late, and I've been trying to feel better to record this most of the day, but I don't know. Yesterday was terrible. I threw up on myself in the car. It was very tragic. I had to go through a toll roll and a fucking bra. Everybody looking at me like I'm day drinking. Had to go to my daughter's school to get my freaking key since she had it because I was coming home early from work and I couldn't even go in the school. I had to go through the intercom and say, I'm covered in vomit right now, so can you just run that out to me? Yeah, great, thanks. So not the best 24 hours. Just not. Hopefully, I will get over this soon. But we are here to talk about The Flash. I gave this one a 7.2 rating out of 10. Like I said, it had some good moments. Most of it was with Cisco, which is sad because if he's leaving. Okay, that's the only bit of news and gossip I got is that I was listening to another Flash podcast that is, I think it is the official Flash podcast. I'm pretty sure. I don't listen to them often because, they piss me off most of the time. And I can't understand what the lead host is saying. Pretty much. And it's not even being rude. I just can't. But they said that Cisco Ramon, Carlos Valdez, did an interview and said he would be back for season 6. Now, he could have just been bullshitting. But we know things change. And the way they kind of said this the way they kind of set this up seems like they're almost backtracking a little bit, but we'll see. We'll get to those scenes with him and Sherlock, but those were kind of the highlights for me. And usually I'm like, ooh, highlight West Allen, but it was kind of and we'll get there on that in a minute too. So it was I won't say it's a filler episode completely. I would say there's more character beats, but it wasn't filler because we accomplished two things, right? We found out what Cicada is doing, Cicada 2, and then we actually came up with a weapon that can take out Cicada's dagger. So there were things that happened that moved the plot forward. It just felt more filler than, say, last season. What did we get last season? Around this time. I just remember season 3 mostly when Barry had amnesia. And then I feel like they had something kind of like this last year, but I cannot for the life of me recall. Anyways, it's not like that. It's not like Barry filler episode where you just have amnesia. You just had really great character moments, but at the same time, nothing really happened with the plot. It felt like things happened with the plot in this one. So we start off the episode in Star Labs. I do like that they have this setup where the team comes together and then they kind of split off and do their own things and then they kind of come back together at the end. That's pretty cool. But basically everyone's looking for Nora. And Cisco's back. No explanation whatsoever. Oh, I didn't find out anything from Breacher. Just Cisco's back. And he has named the satellites after the women of Sex in the City, and he says, I'm clearly just Samantha, and Iris was like, okay, Miranda, and he's like, girl. Oh, I miss me some Iris and Cisco. Mainly because, I'm sorry, as the people of color in the room, they kind of get each other a lot. You know, I love his scenes with Sherlock, but there should definitely be more scenes with him and Iris. But whatever. I guess that's just gonna go to Iris and Ralph if Cisco leaves. If he doesn't, I'll be really happy. Next season, can we please get more scenes of Cisco and Iris? Because they would make the best friendship, and they kind of get each other. I just feel like they do. Anyways, they got all the shit set up. I did like the little effect where they showed Barry putting the ring in his pocket, because we haven't really seen the flash ring come out. So any allusion to it, I'm fine with, because that I wasn't even thinking of it, but the fact that they put that little detail in there, I like that a lot. Caitlin is apparently in mourning, but she doesn't look really sad. She's like, well, whatever she stole, and they're talking about Cicada too, like, why did she steal the cryo-atomizer? They're like, apparently it was important enough to kill my daddy. I need you to get angry, ma'am, that your dad was just murdered in front of you, or have some actual, like, there could have, in the time where we had people just being off screen for no reason, this would have been the time that Caitlin could have taken some seats. And I didn't have a problem with her this episode or anything like that, but at the same time, this thing with her daddy and her mourning for him, is that whole storyline still hurts from last week. I did a second watch, and it wasn't as terrible the second time as it was the first time, but it was still awful. Like, how you just disappear 3 months ago and then come back talking about, I want a Frost family. Fuck, what the hell? That's, oh my god, I'm still upset at Flash for writing that shit. Anyway, she's all looking sad face, and only Barry and Cisco care. I don't know if they're just trying to keep Candace and Danielle from having speaking lines together or even pretending anymore, but I thought that was hilarious. He's like, oh, if you need some time, and Cisco's like, yeah, you know, we can handle this shit on our own. And then she's like, no, I kind of just want to be at work. Okay. So how did that date with Carla go though? Like, at least I would have gotten a line. Well, at least this brought me and my mom closer together. No. So then they have this thing where Sherlock and Ralph come in. They've been tracking down what Cicada has been doing, or trying to look for Cicada anyway, while they've been looking for their missing child. Because they don't know where she is at, because she has not came home. And that is when Caitlin gets an alert at her dad's lab and decides that she's going to go investigate it. Ralph's going to help. Sherlock's like, no, I need to make this up because I fucked up. Now, I'm glad that finally the show can say what, this was kind of pissing me off a little bit, that a lot of people were on some of my reaction videos saying, you know, I don't understand why people are so mad at Sherlock. No, I saw right through what Sherlock was saying. I'm glad he said it. No, this was about my pride. It had nothing to do with actually bringing y'all in on anything. This was about me proving something and proving a point. And that's what I've been saying from the fucking get-go, that the way he did it, it had nothing to do with Nora and the whole sensitivity of the issue. It was, look at me, I'm so smart. And I'm not saying that, you know, like I said, Iris didn't have no fight dog in that fight, man. She was told that she didn't say shit was on her. That he didn't rat her out is all of my Westwell shipping thing, okay? So that is what it is. But as far as the rest of the people, they do have a legitimate reason to be a little butthurt with Sherlock. Because you should have said something. Because shame on me if I don't believe you. But shame on you if you living in my house and you see something going on and you don't say shit. Y'all know that y'all would not have that same reaction. Stop it. Anyways, he keeps calling her Nora West Allen. I love how he calls them all by their full name. And then Caitlin tries to say his. I don't know if Sherlock is that hard to say, but no one can say it and he's pissed. He's like, I don't understand why none of y'all can figure out my name. None of y'all. Iris can fuck up and not say my name right, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But the rest of y'all need to get it together. So Cisco and Sherlock have this little scene as everyone's making their way to their own little shindigs, because Iris is going to go off and Cisco's going with her because, oh yeah, they got an alert about McCullough Labs. Because that's how we started the episode really opening, was Nora coming back, and then she lost the red eyes, and then she went to this McCullough Labs and she starts fucking up some stuff, talking to Gideon, which Gideon's just a thing, right? She's like, you want me to alert your daddy? She's like, no. I ain't talking to that man right now. But, so I guess Gideon's just, if the Barry don't invent Gideon just makes her way into the show. I'm fine with it. If this means we don't have to have another Wells next year, and we could just depend on Gideon, I'm totally okay with it. Just ease her ass in. Is the same actress, Morocco? Oh, I ain't gonna fuck her name up. But is she still doing the voice? I just want to know. So, yeah, she needs something. And I love when she's like, so what's my chances of robbing this place? She said 1 in a billion. I was laughing so damn hard. I don't know why I thought that was funny. So she said she's gonna need some help. That's how we started with Nora, by the way, before we got to this whole situation. And then Cisco and Sherlock going through this banter because he's getting emojis from his girlfriend, which I completely forgot about this chick. I ain't gonna lie. I still feel like the whole storyline's unnecessary. It's just giving Sherlock something to do. But dude, you act like you about to set up shop in this timeline. And she's trying to get some lay. She's trying to go through the bone zone. And Sherlock don't understand Earth 1 emojis. He figured everything out until they got to the peach, and then everybody's like, yeah, like Caitlin and Ralph gave him this look like, dude, you're not getting it. Cisco comes out and tells Ralph that he's finished with his book, because I was like, oh, he actually completed Ralph's list. That's cute. And Sherlock points out that he's in denial about telling Camilla that he's a meta. He's like, I think you're a chicken that you're not telling your girlfriend. And he's like, I'll tell her right now. And he's like, oh, okay, so call her, right? Oh, I get spotty reception in the elevator. Thought that was funny. But I also like that Cisco decides to roll to crime scenes now. So we go to Barry, Iris, Joe, and Cisco at McCullough Labs, and they're investigating. Iris is, doing her journalist thing. She had talked to some folks, some worker there, and found out that they have a contractor that's anonymous. They don't know who this person is, but it sounds suspect. Barry's like, well, it looks like someone came in and fried all the hard drives, and they don't know what could do that. And Iris is like, could a lightning bolt do that? And he's like, no, man. Nora wouldn't do this. But then Cisco comes over with his gadget, and he's like, there's some negative tachyons going around. And it turns out, this is actually important, that the negative tachyons siphon the positive tachyons. I'm glad that they had Joe putting this shit together. So it steals the speed force like a parasite. This is really important for a few reasons, because of how we're going to be dealing with the negative speed force in the future, because Godspeed. It also, to me, gives a lot of motivating factor to Thawne, right? Thawne uses this to travel through the speed force. He created this when he found out that Barry in the future is actually his enemy, that he becomes the greatest enemy of the Flash. When you're in this speed force, you have to channel rage. I think I didn't really mention this too much last week, but the fact that you have to continuously be a part of this rage to use this hatred, explains so much of why Thawne is schizophrenic. Because yes, he uses people, but he also cares about them. This is nothing new. Barry's the only person that seems to be so far on this. Like, I don't even understand why he don't. I get it. Like Joe said, that man's always gonna be in your head. But Barry is not remembering the fact that Thawne had genuine feelings for him, as weird as it was, for Cisco. and to a lesser degree, Caitlin. And he still killed them. And he still wants to kill Barry. And he still wants his own agenda. So he can do both. How can he do both? Because when he's in the negative speed force, he's corrupted. It almost feels like he is constantly at battle with himself on what he wants to feel and what this now negative speed force has corrupted him, if that makes any sense. And I'm interested in seeing how this affects Nora going forward, because I think she thinks it was over, but I'm like, girl, boo, no. That is not over. That is going to be a problem. That's why Thawne looked freaked the fuck out when you went in. I think he had some type of idea, this part of her becoming one with the speed force in that moment, like the way she did it, it wasn't what he wanted, because he knows there's going to be a fallout from that, but at the same time he's going to let that fallout be. So we have Iris asking one of those questions where I'm like, Iris, she says, why would Nora be avoiding us? Iris, I ain't got no time to be putting no sound effects in here tonight. So I'm just going to have to say this. Girl, you tripping. Seriously. You act like you did not see your daughter just run off. From the fact that you took your mortal ass through the space-time continuum to come see her ass, and she gonna run off like a 2-year-old talking about, where's my dad? So, what do you mean, why is she avoiding you? What? Girl, stop it. Then we get to the young rogues, and they meet up, and it turns out this was Keystone City they were at. And before I forget too much, the establishing shot of Barry running through the city, I really like that. I like when they make the world bigger and it makes Central City not look like a small town. Sometimes it looks like a huge city. They're doing a really good job making the world feel bigger. The young rogues, we meet Ragdoll being extra as usual, getting the fuck out of that box. B-Lady, and I will never remember B-Lady's name. I will never remember it. And Weather Witch have a sparring of words a little bit, because she's like, what did she call her? Something, she called her some name. She's like, that's what they call me, don't you call me that? That was a sensitive spot. She's like, okay, I'm sorry. And she asked about Silver Ghost, and she's like, well, Silver Ghost wasn't, like, she brushes that off. I can't remember. But they all got this anonymous invitation, and it's from Nora, and she's like, come on, we need to rob a place. And they're like, why should we trust you? And Nora puts her on full blast, like, so why did you save my life, though? Now, this is what part that's going to throw me off again with Weather Witch and Nora, because I guess after this whole thing, like, I don't know what happened with Weather Witch and Silver Ghost, where they went off to some place and, spoiler alert, Weather Witch killed Silver Ghost. So apparently she's crossed that line already. But apparently when Nora was trying to take her down, she hadn't crossed that line. I don't know about these young rogues. I was okay with the other two folks. But Weather Witch was actually the one that was most going, what? I feel like we had a whole storyline with you. But she tells them that they can break into McKellar and get some weapons that will, one of these weapons on the black market is going to cost millions of dollars for us. So we just need to rob the place because I'm done with the Flash. And you need to trust me. After she puts her on a blast, like, hey, you talking about no killing? And because they wanted to be out when she said no killing. But they was like, but you saved my life, so you must not be down with killing. But she don't know the new Weather Witch. So they agree to go with the plan. I will say the young rogues' motivation here just felt weak. I can go with it because none of them seem really smart. I will say that much. But it was weak. Why would you just trust the Flash's daughter to rob a place? Why wouldn't the Flash and the Flash's daughter just be playing, y'all? Anyways, we find out that the lab has a meta dampening thing that's bigger than Argus, but it looks like a big ass fucking just looks like a fucking dish satellite. But that's why she can't get in there, why she needs their help, because they have Metatech. And she says that we need to steal these weapons, and next we need to just go rob the Flash. She sounds really excited about that. At the North Pole, Frost is in mourning. Caitlin is whispering, and I don't know why. Ralph is talking about, like, why is K-Frost not coming out to play? Because, it's cold as fuck up in this piece, and we can really have someone seal the sealant up here. And Ralph's like, well, let me show her this list about how to get over mourning, and Frost comes out just to tell him to shut the fuck up and seal the sealant. And, again, why is it I love Frost more? I don't know why it is that when she turns into Frost, it's a different person, and then when she turns into Caitlin, at least I can say they're consistent in keeping them very separate in personality. And if I have to deal with it, at least I'll just be happy when I see Frost. And I'm glad that Ralph was like, see, I told her I'd get her to come out and play. We go back to Cecile and Iris. And I like that they're at her office discussing things and we're not in Star Labs. Yes, please, more of this. Cecile shows Iris that McCullough is manufacturing weapons, and Iris is a little confused, like, okay, Nora is here. I know she's here, but I don't know why she ain't come home. Because at first, Iris just wants to look into the weapons. Let's have us investigate that because Barry's out doing some other shit. And that's when Cecile uses her intuition powers, like always. And tells her, is there something else bothering you? Why can't you just ask, Cecile? Just ask. You ain't gotta be so weird, or the show don't have to be weird about it. It would be natural that after you find out that your daughter is probably involved in a heist and that this don't look good and that Thawne sent her ass back, that she might need to talk. Just say, hey, is there anything else on your mind? Not, hey, I creepily picked up on your feelings. Is there anything else on your mind? And Iris, bless you, child, for being so understanding and accepting of your wayward ass child. It's like, I don't think Nora, she has to have a good reason. Like, her faith is outstanding. It's a whole new appreciation for Iris's faith. But I'm like, don't make Iris look like a damn fool, y'all. She don't look like egg on her face at Thawne. Well, they all still acknowledge that she's manipulating her. Why is no one asking questions, though? Like, how is he manipulating? Like, why? Okay, so he gets to Cicada and the dagger, and then what? I don't think there's no, I think it's clear that he wants to get rid of Cicada and that damn dagger. But then what? But then again, how can you answer that question? Nora don't know, because she's getting played. So maybe I don't need to go down that route. That's just what the audience member, I guess, feels. And she says, again, it's got to be for a good reason. And then Daddy's at Star Labs. He's feeling a certain way because he's like, I've searched everywhere. Nora's here. She obviously avoiding us. And he's like, this is my fault. Sherlock like it. This is my fault too. I put her ass on blast. And we need to find Nora West Island. That's what he said the whole episode. And it was really cute when the little beeper went off. And he's like, is that Nora? I was like, oh, Daddy Barry, but you're so naive. Oh, he is so naive. Because he's still at what did I say he was naive for? I wrote something down in my notes that you're naive, Barry. Why are you naive? I would think. Oh, that's because he said, well, she could just come back home. I know if I tell her that she can come home, she'll just come home. I'm like, dude, that's not how it works. You can't just you can't, like, I do feel like, because I'm going back and forth with Nora. She pisses me off. I'm really kind of done with her. I hope we get a new characterization of her. However, again, that other side of me that really tries so hard, I need Akon to come out right now and serenade that for me. But, in correlation to when we get a little bit later to Weather Witch's story, when you run away from home and you're 13 and you're waiting for your mom to come pick you back up, but she never shows up. You know, it's kind of fucked up that you want to see your dad and he's known for like, you know, a hot second, and you might never know him again because, you know, he might die or whatever, die. I don't think he dies. I think he goes in Speed Force, but whatever. But for him to just be like, don't come home and drop your ass on the side of the road, that's kind of fucked up. It really is. As much as I want to be like, girl, you was acting like a little spoiled shit right now. It really is fucked up. Cisco, like, y'all talking about how she mad at us, because that's what Sherlock said. Sherlock's like, she mad at us. And Cisco's like, I kept my mouth shut through this whole damn fight that y'all was having. Even when I heard the lowdown, I kept my mouth damn shut. I ain't say nothing. I ain't had no words. This y'all fault. I went to breach on some other earth for no damn reason. Oh, I'm so sick. Okay, let's get through this. So the alert goes off for the Starchives, because now we're just gonna incorporate that shit. But Nora is there robbing them to get Spencer's phone. And Daddy rolls in like, Nora, what you doing? And she's like, hey, Dad. He's like, well, I want you to know you can come home. You just need to stop working with Thawne. I need you to do that. I don't understand why this is such a problem for Nora. Maybe because she really feels like, oh, I need his help so bad to help stop Cicada. But at the same time, girl, you don't have no faith in your own family to stop Cicada. And that's a little frustrating. Okay, that's a lot frustrating. They're working on the case. How about you just fucking help? You're supposed to be smart. And I feel like she doesn't use her brain at all. How do you need people to continuously tell you what to do? And you're supposed to be so like something GPAs, all this, whatever the case may be. It bothers me that she does not have a brain of her own. So he's trying to talk to her like, okay, come on, let's work this out. And she kind of gets shitty at him because he correctly deduces that she's talking to someone, because what you call is like target acquired, because they hear, because as Cisco and Sherlock are getting in the elevator, they realize that something, they just walk around with tablets, they give them alerts, which is hilarious, but they're like, someone's in the sewer system. And I'm like, damn, Nora, you even told them where the Flash be at? That's not okay. And Ragdoll is up in there looking creepy as shit. That was the only other second thing. A Ragdoll can come back anytime. Bee-Lady, Weather Witch, Ragdoll can come back anytime he wants to come back, because he's just creepy and I like it. But getting mad at Barry because he was right, I don't understand. And then she throws this 4-year-old tantrum. And she says, what, because you don't trust me? You giving up on me? You giving up on me like you do every time? And I'm like, every time? Just one time. You didn't want me since I've been here. I hate you. And then she starts blurring her face, and then she starts getting all red in the Speed Force, and she run off, and it freaks Barry the fuck out because all he sees is Thawne. Because you know that man is Thawne traumatized. Oh, Lord Jesus. Nora, I can't even deal with you right now. That whole, like, again, you abandoning me in the street is where I can follow that argument. The rest of it, I was like, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Take some responsibility, Nora. You worked with the man that killed your grandmother, who had your grandfather locked up for decades. You lied about it after finding out about it. And then it's not like you even came to your family to come clean because you felt bad because Thawne told you. You don't get a right to throw tantrums like a fucking 4-year-old. You just don't. You need to suck it up, Buttercup. What happened to you was your own damn fault. And you even said it last episode. So why the hell you acting extra? I don't know, like. Anyways, moving on. Barry runs to Iris all emotional and out of breath and freaking the hell out. And he's like, Nora just stole Spencer's shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm freaking the fuck out because Thawne got to her, man. It's a wrap. We gotta take her down. And then they get another alert showing Cisco being dragged. I don't know why it made me laugh so fucking hard, but I did, because there was Sherlock just in the elevator. Half past conked out, yet Cisco's just being dragged. Just dragged. By Weather Witch and Bee Lady or Ragdoll. I don't know who the hell's in the room. But it was a coordinated attack, and this is freaking buried the fuck out even more, because it's like, oh no, she went full, she went Thawne. She's done. It's a wrap. But Iris is like taking it all in, like, damn, this is really fucked up. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say anything right now because I don't have all the facts, since I'm a damn journalist and I get all the facts before I start jumping to freaking conclusions and want to do shit. Back at Keystone, because that's how we know we were in Keystone the whole time, because as soon as they take off their you know, the hoods on them, Sherlock's like, we're at Keystone. And then Cisco's like, oh shoot, crazy bee girl, weather bitch. He didn't say that, but I was. And then he's like, fangirl. And he starts laughing all up in her fucking face. Like, y'all kids cannot be serious right now. Like, do you even know how many times I've been kidnapped to fucking fix shit for people? Because they want him to hack this phone. He's like, do y'all not know my track record at all? Like, even a little bit. But then Nora gone straight up, go full Thawne and threaten him. And I was like, oh no, this bitch can't go. I lost my mind for about a second. I know Lamia in this feedback probably losing her shit right now. Because that was uncalled for, unnecessary, and out of line. She needed, something needed bad to happen to her for that. She gonna get her comeuppance, because she gonna get erased from existence. All this shit she did, it's gonna come back to bite her ass. It's gonna come back. There's no way we're keeping this Nora around. It can't. Not after you did some shit like that. Come on now. Cisco had nightmares for that for months. You can't just do that. That's rude. If you wanted to be taken seriously, you could have just said, you know, well, no, you couldn't have. Because Cisco was trash. But at the same time, that was so So Weather Witch is like, oh, flash your daddy? Because Sherlock's like, look, I'm going to just take this moment to apologize for my actions. I was selfish and it was about my pride, and I shouldn't have exposed you like that. And your family still loves you. Go and come home. And they're like, wait a minute, flash your daddy? And that's what Weather Witch figures it out. She's like, yeah. But didn't she know that all along? But she tells them that this ain't your fucking problem. Don't worry about it. And they just all kind of shrug and move on. I was like, yeah, they stupid as fuck. But not quite so stupid. At least two out of, maybe they all had a conversation probably behind doors back. Like, we about to use this chick right here, right now. Ralph back at Fort North Pole. How fucking big is this building that they needed to search it for this long? But whatever, it's okay. We gave them something to do without really giving them anything to do, and that's fine. Because Caitlin and him have a conversation in which she's like, you're trying to help me. You're always trying to help everybody else. You got your book for love back, and it helped Cisco, apparently, and why aren't you using it for yourself? And he says the saddest thing I think I've ever heard, which is that he thinks he is not built for love. And then they have this moment where it looked like Caitlin and Ralph were going to be getting all lovey-dovey, and I was about to throw up all the way in my mouth, because that's Iris's boo. I'm kidding, but we know he had a thing for Iris, so when he told Caitlin he was not his type, I was being all petty as fuck. So freaking petty, because she's like, oh, you're kind and sweet and nice, and of course you're meant for love. Someone should love you and they're gonna love you back. And he looked her dead in the face, and he was so serious too. He's like, Caitlin, I'm sorry, but you're not my type. And you know Iris is his type because he was freaking out when, remember in season 4, he's like, you got West's daughter? Come on, man, how you get so lucky? Yeah, that's his type. Then they find out that she stole some coma meds and that she actually has, Cicada 2 that is, has the cure. People are calling her Kid Cicada. I don't give a fuck what she's called. She's just that other version of Cicada we're dealing with right now. And this is about legacies, right? That is actually the name of the season finale, is Legacy. So this is all about how you can easily fuck up your kids. Ever so easily. Cicada went fucking crazy and started killing metahumans, and now his daughter, his niece is fucking crazy because you put all that poison into her. And maybe that's what I feel like Thawne's trying to put all his poison into someone, but it's not Nora. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. I cannot figure out his plan. I really cannot. And I'm willing to just wait for it to happen at this point. I don't want to figure it out. Just show it to me. Sherlock and Cisco, as they are still together, as he's fixing this damn phone, start talking about their girl problems. And they can't pronounce their women's name right. He's like, he says Miss Adler. He's like Adler. And he goes Camilla. He says Camilla. But they have this nice little back and forth about their chickens because he reveals that his woman is actually a meta, and I know that. And Cisco's like, well, ain't that kind of lying because you ain't telling her that you know that? And he's like, well, maybe we both chickens, fuck off. And that's how we leave it with them. Then we go back to CCC, where they find out that the metatech from the satellites was all kind of picked up from their satellite, right? That's where it all really came from. And the shards are being turned into weapons by McCullough Industries. Iris thinks that Nora is trying to capture or kill Cicada with one of these weapons. And Barry's like, nope, facts ain't good, man. His worst fears are coming true. He had me cracking up sitting on that damn couch, but I was happy he was sitting on that couch, looking comfortable up in his wifey's outfit, is all I'm saying. But he had me cracking up this whole episode. He was like in such panic mode. He's like, no, Iris, she trying to kill Cicada. And even if she trying to kill Cicada, that's not okay. And I'm like, but Barry, is it really the worst? Is it really the worst? Jesus. But I was like, hold up, dude. Come on now. Because he said we need to make the thing that he used against Thawne, that Cisco used, the force field. I didn't even remember it till you brought up the footage. And he's going to his office to do that right now. And I was just like, hold up. She chased him right out that door. And did you see Cecilia Jones look? They was like, thank God that ain't me. It's like, we was not trying to get involved. But Iris is like, stop treating our daughter like a fucking meta villain. Ain't this why we in the situation we in? And let's see what she's trying to do. Let's figure out her plan and try to get one step ahead of it, which I think is smart. Even if she is up to no good, treating her like some huge villain, like she's done something when she hasn't yet, just because she's working with Thawne and he's manipulating her doesn't mean she's doing anything evil. He just automatically associates evil with Thawne, and I think there's something to be said that there's a gray area. Like I said, I think he wants to stop Cicada, but this also benefits himself in some way. And Barry is like, yo, she can't work with Thawne. I thought we had this discussion. She needs to give it up because this is Thawne's plan and I'm not cool with that. But I'm like, you did. You did tell her to stop working with Thawne, and she's not going to stop working with Thawne because she thinks his plan is good, despite it coming from the man. Now, I hear this a lot too in some of the comments on YouTube because I was watching some YouTube videos, that Barry has amnesia because he went to Thawne and asked for his help a bunch of times. This is a valid point. I can also argue, though, that it wasn't so much, there was no manipulation involved. Well, there kind of was, because Barry was always lying when he went to Thawne for help. He's like, I need you to help me fix this or something happens to you. Like, because they're linked. Something, like, if I die, that means your future's fucked up. Something like that. It always was kind of the last ditch effort. It feels, I would say, on the back end of that, Nora is a willing participant to Thawne's plan. And not only that, there's a naivety to Nora when dealing with Thawne than there wasn't with Barry. Like, he knew exactly what he was dealing with, where Nora still doesn't seem to fully grasp the full, the other side of him, that okay, he can care about you, but that don't mean he ain't gonna stab you in the fucking gut, which makes it even worse, because he cares about you and will still stab you in the fucking face. So I get that bringing that up. Yes, that's a very, they went back in the future and asked, he even took Nora with them. But again, she was in that room with them. She saw that relationship. That wasn't sweet and cute, and that was really volatile between them. So her hanging on to Thawne is a problem. But apparently Nora just can't think for herself, and she doesn't have any faith in the team. To be honest, she thinks he's the smartest person, so we should use him. But you're not using him, you're being used by him, and that's the part that she doesn't get. Iris thinks it's at least possible that Thawne has changed, because he totally gave me advice and told me to patch things up with you, and he looked at her like, bitch, what you say? And again, this to me makes, I'm like, Flash, you're gonna make Iris look like an asshole when he, because she's kind of not being as on her P's and Q's too. Like, I get what she's saying, like, hey, we can't just treat our daughter like shit and abandon her just because she happens to be working with Thawne, who happens to be 10 times smarter than her, and I can see why she did the things that she did, but there is the same way with I have less of an excuse for Iris, because she knows what Barry went through. She was there every step of the way. He got bullied because he was obsessed with this red streak. Everyone thought he was crazy for a while. Then his father being in jail and never giving up on that. His mother dying. He went through a lot because of Thawne. She knows the backlash of that. So for her to kind of keep pushing, like last episode I was like, oh, she said that just to piss him off. And I do think when she came back and she said, okay, no, he is manipulating her, but I do think he cares about her. In this conversation, when she was kind of talking to him like, I know this is hard, but what if he's changed? Yes, you should throw out that possibility. Like, it's possible, but at the same time, I think that you're not, like, take a little bit more precautions too. You know what I mean? And that's where Barry is right, because they're both right and wrong. And I like that about having conversations about their conversations, because I can see it both ways. Because Barry is just way too quick to just cut the tie like he don't even know you no more. And then Iris may be a little too much heart and faith in her daughter. Like, I feel like, honestly, Nora could kill a fucking person and Iris would be like, I'm still ride or die for my daughter. That's just how she is. And I think Barry's just gonna have to accept that she's gonna put family first no matter what. And that's what Joe kind of gets to him. Like, hey, y'all might cross the line sometimes, and there's daddy and then there's cop. And there's hero and then there's my family, and Iris is all about family. But I did like their little conversation. I like that she chased him out, like, hold up, and you guys hear them, and then Barry starts raising his voice. That was another thing. Everybody's like, Barry was yelling at Iris. Iris was yelling back, y'all. Maybe not as loud, but she was yelling back. Let's not make it like Iris was just taking lumps and being cursed out by Barry. No, that was an equal footing fight. Just because he had the last word don't mean shit. That's why he was fucked up the next day. He was like, Iris is not answering my calls. Anyways, Nora done had her identity revealed, which it don't matter. At first I was like, but then I was like, Nora's gonna disappear, and like probably after Crisis, so we don't have to really worry about that. But anyways, Weather Witch ain't stupid though. She knows Nora's the one that arrested her ass. She ain't stupid. She's like, you can lose the leather. They kept trashing her outfit too. Like, oh, just because you dressing up in leather don't mean shit. You ain't a bad girl. Because that's what you do when you're trying to go bad. You change your attitude, change your outfit, change your hair, put on some new makeup. But she's like, you can take that shit off because I know who you are, Nora. And that's when they do exchange a little bit. She's like, I tried to, help my dad and he just abandoned me. And Weather Witch tells her story, which actually is a little sad and totally why. That's why she gets on my nerves, but at the same time, I was like feeling really bad for her when she told her story, because she said her dad left her mom in the waiting room, like basically left after she was born, and then her mom kind of hated her for that. But this is one thing I will say, there's two sides to every story. This is how she sees it, and after Nora has warped every memory that Iris has had with her, I don't know if I could take the full extent of this story from her. But according to her mother looked at her and blamed her the whole time. So at 13, she ran away and she was living under a bridge. And every day she had this feeling that her mom was going to show up, but she never came. Because Nora still has this feeling in her soul that she still wants her daddy to just walk through the door. And that's when the other two come in. They're like, yeah, parents suck. Mentors suck. Adults suck. Because y'all all are adults, but y'all sound like y'all 14 years old. And I guess that's where they're at. They're mentally stunted kids that just can't fucking figure out that shitty things happen. Move on. I felt like Weather Witch, though, was a successful fucking, like, did she have a job and stuff? This just seems so out of character. She just got some tech and decided, you know what, I'm going to go bad. But that's when Cisco says, I'm done with this shit. They take it. B-Girl checks it out for bugs, but Cisco ain't stupid. Of course he rigs the devices. And because he asked, can we go now? And she's like, so you can run back to the Flash? She ain't gonna reveal her daddy's identity. She ain't that off the chain. And has them hypnotized to stay in their seats. And then we go back to Joe and Barry at CCPD in his lab. And Joe, he's looking at the footage of the little, I don't know, force field or whatever. And Joe's like, look, you gonna use that? He's like, I don't know what to do, man. And he's like, look, Nora broke the law and there should be repercussions. Thank you. There should be repercussions. There still should be repercussions. Y'all should have whooped her ass or something. I don't know. Cursed her ass out. Iris gonna talk about that was some quite a people you hung up with, kiddo. No, Iris, you're letting your you need to go black mama on her, and that's what your problem is right now. You ain't went black mama on this child, and that's why she acted the way she acted. Because you need to get a belt out and whoop that ass. She needs a good old-fashioned ass whooping. Y'all act like these people out these streets that be like, oh, you don't beat your children, spare the rod, spare the child. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Okay? A little bit of fear in your child is a healthy thing. Okay? Because guess what? When they think about doing something, they be like, oh shit, mama gonna whoop my ass. If you don't do that, they're gonna like, oh, mommy gonna talk to me. Oh, okay, I can deal with that. But if you think that mommy might actually murk you, like right where you stand, you gonna think twice about your actions. I know this for a fact. I'm not saying it always works. I'm saying it's better than nothing. It works most of the time. Look at what these white people be doing. I ain't got nothing against white people. Y'all know this. My child is half biracial. But the statistics show there are certain crimes that white people do And there are certain crimes that black people do. And some be off the chain because they ain't got a whooping. Like, oh, we can go on to this, but it's late. I don't feel like it. But she needed to get her ass whooped, is all I'm saying. And Joe knew that. But he says, but there's what's right, and then there's what's you're gonna do for your family. You know, I had to be cop, and I also, you know, when you guys did stuff, like, okay, can we get like a flashback to what Barry and Iris were doing as teenagers? Because what? They broke the law? He said when you guys were doing, that means they was doing something. He's like, I had to be, you know, being your daddy came first. So what was y'all doing as kids? Is what I'd like to know. And Barry starts to think he gonna suck at being a parent. He's like, I left my daughter in the middle of the street. I was ready to say deuces, because he's feeling some way after he gets the curse out from Nora. Like, yeah, I really didn't want her here. I wanted her to go back, like, immediately. And I felt no qualms about abandoning her. It was only until Iris cursed me out that I thought I was even wrong. So there is that. And Joe is like, look, you never even called me dad until, which was real, he's like, until this room. When it was recently too, or it sounded like around season 1, where he called him dad for the first time. And he said, it's fine because you had a dad and he was perfect. And I think that's part of Nora's problem, to be honest, is that in her mind, she grew up thinking the Flash was her daddy. Like, she's a Flash fan girl for real. Like, she was obsessed with the Flash way before she found out Barry was her daddy. So now that obsession, and I don't like that they kind of gave her Thawne's origin story to make them closer, you know, together, why they work together. Because it's creepy. It comes off creepy sometimes. That she had this idolization of the Flash and kind of thought this man was, or had some secret fantasy going on, all the way into adulthood of this Flash being kind of her father figure. And then she finds out, oh, he is my father. So now she's just got this really warped obsession / I don't know, wanting to live up to her daddy at all times thing. And it's really kind of just, at moments, too much, is what I gotta say. But he does say, you know, you had your dad, you believed in your dad all this time, you had a really good father, so it makes sense why you didn't call me daddy for so long, even though I was a dad to you. And he tells him that he's gonna be a good father. Like, don't feel bad because you fucked up. That's what you do as a parent. You fuck up on the reg. It just happens. All you can do is love them, because you ain't never gonna not fuck up. That comes with the territory. Then we go back to Sherlock and Cisco, and they escape because Cisco's not a fucking fool, and he puts in, what did he put in? Some spyware or some such shit, and they get out, and Sherlock, he gets out of his thing so quick, and he's like, wait, I said do this slowly. And then he helps Cisco. He's like, count back to 10. He's like, 10, and he snaps his thing. He's like, how you do that? He's like, it's a secret. Then he grabs like a canister and a lighter, and he's ready to set that stuff, and he's like, you might want to move. He's like, what the world? And then it doesn't work, so Cisco, for some reason, took way too long. Like, what? He just got melodampening cuffs on? What the fuck? And he breaches. Oh yeah, they probably put those melodampening cuffs on him. That makes sense. At first I was like, has he been dampening his own power? Because they talk about, oh yeah, that's that conversation he had earlier where he's like, I don't think you want to be a metahuman anymore. I thought that was already fucking established. That's why he made the cure. Come on, writers. Come on. Y'all do not read y'all's own scripts. You can tell y'all farm that shit out. There's writer's room where people sit and talk to each other. I do not feel like that is the Flash. Like, they talk about big theme concepts, and then everyone gets their script, and then they go off into their trailers, and then they never come back together again and talk it out. They just don't. Because there's just no excuse for why Sherlock would be telling him something that was established like way 10 episodes ago. Then we get to the heist. It's on. I do like to dress up and them coming in as as like some army folks. And then it's all the women, the ladies. Oh, the single ladies. And then they get to they're like, what's behind that door? If you knew what was behind that door. Anyways, they take out the people and then change into their outfits because that's what you needed to do. And then Excess says, remember, no killing. Then they have Merkel has to he has to unlock the door. I'm really surprised you just didn't need to put in, like, he locked it for like he was just breaking into a house and locking it from the inside. Unlocking the door. That was so silly. But he goes into this manhole that's really small and it's like, you sure you can fit in there? When he came out of that briefcase, I was like, why you gotta be so extra? But that was perfect to get him in. And then he goes into it and then Wonder Witch is like, I think I'm gonna be sick, because he said this is gonna be my Aria. Again, he can come back anytime. He don't talk too much and it's perfect. Then that's when, once they get in the room and she finds what she wants, she's like, okay, time to pack it up. They double cross her. They're like, no, we actually have a different plan. And they knock her out. And then it comes back and they are all, like fucking the 12-year-olds they are, video recording themselves. Because they have getting all the 12 facility people. This is a big ass event, but there's 12 people there. Not even, like, there was like 6 people in them chairs. Maybe 8. Anyways, these supposed to be military folks themselves, but they all got taken out. And they're all tied up, and they're talking about, well, we need the Flash to be here in 30 seconds, or we're going to kill everyone in this room. First and foremost, that is an unrealistic amount of time. He might be shitting. He might be on another Earth. He might be anywhere. Why would you just go ahead and tell someone they need 30 seconds to show up? Then he shows up, and immediately I was like, that is not him, because his voice sounded so weird. It was funny. I will say this was the fun, like Sherlock, this was his best episode. He must die soon. Because this was his best episode of the whole series thus far. Because he was cracking me up when he was like, I am the Flash. You cannot, he was having way too much fun pretending to be in the Flash. And then here comes the chick talking about, you think you're gonna fool me with that hologram? But it did for a whole good like 30 seconds. Oh, and that's what she had revealed earlier though, because Nora's like, how you gonna out me, dude? Like, cause I don't know why they want that. She's like, why are you gonna double cross me? She's like, well, that's what Silver Ghost said, and I killed her because I want to make a name for myself, because that's what I want now. I want fame. Before I take the weapons, because I want money too. Because she's like, if this was just about the money, I ain't even had no beef with y'all. I would have let y'all stole the weapons and been about, oh no, she said she was going to steal them back. Because she tried to use Barry's plan. But I'm like, Barry's plan didn't fucking work either, y'all. Why would you use your father's plan? Anyways, we see like one of the people like uncuffing themselves. And I was like, who's this person? I will say this much. They impressed me with this. I did not see this coming. Because Team Flash, meaning Barry in his Flash suit, and then the Men in Black. Iris and freaking Joe looking like badasses are sitting there like, oh, I bet you didn't expect this shit. And they're like, what the fuck? And of course, Nora. Damn. Oh, Nora. She's like, yeah, we need to take off this power, because she's like, how did y'all get in here? And she's like, well, because we bypassed security, and then y'all ass kidnapped us. Like, we came in just as she was getting double crossed, but we've been here this whole time. Like, we already had a plan to do some shit, because Sherlock ran off too, saying he knew that Nora was in danger. Like, he already knew. He's like, yeah, she gonna get played. Like, she don't understand when she getting played. This is not a lesson this child will ever learn. But she gone learn. But a fight ensues, and father and daughter team up against Ragdoll. He come out. I forgot that Joe never seen Ragdoll, because when he came out the trash can, he was like, "What the fuck is that?" And Iris is like, "Oh, this." You know that's what she was thinking. You know that's what she was thinking. Look at how cute with her Beyonce freaking one ponytail up. It was so freaking cute. But then she get knocked the fuck out. But that's the thing about Iris. She could get knocked, like, they came with their weapons. They was shooting. And then she get knocked down. And then Joe, he does this little backflip thing. Marco, that is. This was the best fight anyway. And then he knocks his gun out of his hand, and then Joe ain't even phased. He put the dukes up like, "Come on in. We gonna go old school." But then he gets his arm twisted, and then Iris is like, "Oh no, not today, Satan." She gave a 1-2 punch and knocked that dude the fuck out. KO'd his ass. And that's exactly what Ralph was talking about. Have you seen her left hook? That shit is no joke. Then she follows it up with, "You better be glad I don't drop his ass off a building." I was like, that's my queen right there. That's my wife. That's my daughter. That's my child. That's everything. I love that woman. I love her so much. But yeah, that was the best fight. Then basically the other fight was just them shooting. Barry hiding behind the thing with Nora and them shooting. And then of course Barry doing the thing he always does, which is taking L's for everybody. And he takes a lightning bolt, because she's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna kill you now." Because Weather Witch is mad. Why do you keep trying? I don't understand this whole change with Weather Witch. I just don't. I really don't. But she tries to kill them, but knocks Barry out. But it turns out that it propels off of him and hits the power dampener. So they got their speed back. So he ain't even phased by this. He's like, "Yeah, I got knocked down, but I got my speed back." And then they have this nice little flash time. I love the flash time moment. He literally just freezes everything. Like, fuck these kids. Like, I'm not even taking them seriously. Like, y'all really getting on my damn nerves. And they take a moment to have some father-daughter time and flash time. And she's like, "You came. You were here for me the whole time." I was like, "Shut the fuck up, Nora." I'm sorry. I'm a little fed up with Nora right now. And he tells her, "I abandoned you once. I'm never going to abandon you again." And then we get to the family making up later, where, Iris says, "Some bad people you're hanging out, kiddo." And she says, "Yeah, I know, but I needed their help." She does explain why she ran off with Iris in the future a little bit, like, "Oh, you came, so I thought Dad was like, no, I don't fucking want to see this chick ever again in life, and that you're like forcing me back," because he really didn't. He ain't like. I think it threw her off that she came in the time sphere. I still don't appreciate the disrespect you be giving Iris West Island. I just don't. As your mother, you need to respect that woman and stop taking out all your anger on her when you be really mad at everybody else in the mama. And they all make up. Barry says some shit like, "Well, killing Cicada ain't the thing." She's like, "Well, I wasn't trying to kill Cicada. I was actually trying to steal this one weapon that actually will take care of Cicada's dagger." And she says, "But if you want me to stop working with Thawne," because then she even says one little thing. She's like, "Oh, but it was a good," because even when she was making excuses for the heist, she's like, "Yeah, it was a terrible people to work with, but it was a good plan." I'm like, shut up. I wanted to strangle her little neck. I wanted to strangle her little fucking neck. I did. Y'all know I've been so good with Nora this season. Y'all know I have. But I wanted to strangle her neck out. I'm like, stop getting smart. That's why your ass, something bad need to happen to her. Because she need to learn the consequences of her actions. She's still my child. I still love her. But she in timeout right now. Like, she need a beat down and a timeout. And we don't need to speak for about a week. Till you get your ass together. But Barry's like, "Well, it is a fucking weapon and we're gonna use it because we need to take Cicada out. Like, we dealing with this problem of cicadas. I ain't got time to keep dealing with this person." And that's when Ralph and Caitlin show back up to tell them that, hey, we figured out Cicada 2's plan. She stole the fucked up batch of cure that Cisco made, and now she's going to kill every metahuman in the city with it. That's why she used the cryo whatever, because that's going to help spread it. Because that's what her daddy wanted to do. He wanted to kill every meta. And I'm telling you, she planned on taking herself out too. That girl's fucking crazy. Because we see her at the end, still singing nursery rhymes with her dead uncle that she killed. So she just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's where we leave Cicada 2 and the family. I don't have much more to say. I'm going to get to the feedback because I really need to go sleep. And I wish I had more energy, and I'm sure next week if I forgot something, it'll come back to me. I think I just got a stomach bug. It's all in my stomach. Oh, so let's bring up some feedback. I know I got some from Cheyenne and from Lamia. Oh shit, I gotta log out my account and go back to my other account. Oh, this is not like my other one. My daughter has my phone, so it's not like I could just look at both of my accounts, but no, she got that. So let me go ahead and log into the other one. So I'm sorry, this is gonna take some time. So we gonna start with Lamia. What up, girl? We was talking earlier. You can go ahead and give him your babies. Only one man. The uterus is closed down. Anyways, she says, let's talk about that argument again. Now, I listened to your Snowpack podcast again. Not because the dumbass icicle storyline was anywhere near satisfying, but because I realized I didn't truly listen to the Barry and Iris's argument. I felt it and watched it, but I didn't really truly understand the pettiness that was flowing through both of them. Girl, let me tell you something. These two beautiful human beings can hold their own in an argument. Amen. And even though it was West Allen angst, I was all for it. Before hearing your podcast, I didn't get all of the low blows they were handing out to each other. Listening to you break down the words was everything. Oh, I love that argument so much. That's still, I go back and watch that all the time. It is the best thing ever. I don't care if it was an argument. Y'all need to get over that shit, people. Oh, they're arguing. I can't take it. What? Grown people argue. That's what makes, don't you know makeup sex is better? It honestly made being forced to see Caitlyn and her dumbass family worth it. I rewatched the scene after your podcast, and Barry and Iris can read each other so well that they didn't have to voice certain words in order for the other to know what was being thought by the other. This made hitting each other below the belt even more amazing, and might be part of the reason I missed the pettiness initially. When Barry realized Nora working with the man that killed his mother didn't bother her, the face he made, damn. Yes, the face she made. When she rolled her eyes, I was like, girl, why you roll your eyes at him? No. That was the ultimate, like, fuck you. I don't care. Then after Barry made that petty comment about if he killed your mother right in front of you, maybe you feel differently, Iris's eyebrow raised, and that in itself was petty. Because she knew the next words was a clapback for that ass. LOL, I really enjoy listening to your podcast the second time because it really gave me things to look for during my rewatch. Aww. And I'm so glad you felt the exact same way I did about Caitlyn and her weak ass storyline, continuing to be weak. It was so bad, and I kept thinking to myself, damn, I know the writers are better than this mess. But your thoughts about them pushing DP out with this terrible plot is literally the only thing that makes sense. Or they just don't like her no more. It's like, can you just go somewhere, anywhere? Because she said she's coming back for season 6 in an interview. So anything could change between now and then. But I don't think the Flash writers have much care about her storyline. Because if the Flash writers wrote their stories this way the whole time, there's no way they would have made it to 100 episodes or been renewed for a season 6. Agreed. Last thought, I wanted to know what shows you decided on podcasting about. I know This Is Us is one of them, but what else you got planned? This Is Us is not one of them. I tried. I really did. I'm just not really... What's the word I'm trying to look for? I did Parenthood. All fucking 10 seasons, however seasons of Parenthood there was. I did Parenthood. And it's another one of those shows, and I'm sure, the first few episodes were fantastic, but it was just like, I don't want to be in that place right now. I just don't. I'm not ready for This Is Us, so I'm not podcasting that one. But I kind of gave everyone a heads up on that. It was looking like 70-30. But I will say, I am doing Black Summer on Netflix. I'll be starting that tomorrow. I'm doing Chicago Med. I'm doing that on Sundays. Once I get done with Black Summer, I'll pick another show. I don't know what yet. I have to find something that I like. I try to put polls out for what other people like and get suggestions. But I also don't want to talk about things I just don't want to talk about. Like New Amsterdam's a really good show. I'm not sure I want to podcast on it though. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. I'm not even sure how I'm going to feel about Chicago Med, but I'm committing to Chicago Med because that is one of the ones that was polled out there, and I do need to at least honor one of those choices. But yeah, it's really hard for me to get energy to speak about something if I'm just not that interested in it. So I don't want to make a terrible podcasting experience. This is supposed to be fun, right? I do want to watch Black Summer because I love zombies, and it's only 8 episodes, and my mom really wants to talk to me about it. Like really, she's been stalking the shit out of me about talking about it. And let me see what else. Swamp Thing, when it comes out May 31st on DC Universe, I'm doing that. And then Good Omens, I know for sure that comes on Amazon. I'm doing that as well. Sometime this summer, when more shows are on hiatus, I probably will do a Westworld thesis on both seasons. I'll probably be taking it one episode at a time, so I'm not going to put too much out there on when I'm going to do that. That's probably going to just be out there in the universe. Just kind of like Preacher right now. I'm going to finish that up before it debuts, but it does not debut until October of this year. So there's no rush to get it done. So I'm eventually going to finish it up. I just have to feel like watching the episode. And then I think that's it for right now. I'm trying to stop seeing the buffet and wanting to go in when I don't have that big of an appetite. So I'm trying to really concentrate on getting content out on time by not overdoing it. So right now, just those, finishing up The Flash, Black Summer, and then Chicago Med. So on to your feedback for Gone Rogue. Cisco naming the satellites after the women from Sex and the City was too cute. I agree. Finally, a reference Iris can understand. Yeah, okay, Miranda. LOL. I miss their interaction so much, and this is exactly what I was talking about last podcast about them being besties. It's so damn cute. I agree. They do have really good chemistry together too. I don't think I see it as much. That's why I just don't even recall it most of the time, and that's on the show's fault. Caitlin pretending to be sad that Grace Cicada killed her daddy was laughable. Bitch, no one cares about your daddy. Not even you. If she was gonna grieve, shouldn't it have been right after it happened? Seriously, I'm so sick of this character. If DP stays, I would be okay with a different Caitlyn from another Earth, because this one is trash. We should just throw her away and start fresh. I feel like that's the whole Caitlyn storyline. I feel like at some point they put it in such a deep doo-doo shit turd that it's really hard to get out of it. Now they just kind of we just gotta go with it. We just gotta go with it, because now Carla's gonna be a guy. Oh goddamn. Anyways, and you know Carla gonna be a freaking villain. You just know it. And there's some people that still think that Frost is gonna become Killer Frost at some point. Honestly, I'd probably be happier. So now Cisco wants to use his powers. I don't get it, girl. I don't get it at all. Like, he should have been He seemed so disgusted with his powers before, and we didn't see him use them very much even after he healed from the shrapnel injury. So is he happy with his powers now? I wish they would follow up with Cisco more. Even if he is leaving, he's not gone yet. I love me some Cisco, and I want to know what's happening in his life. DP is supposedly leaving, but they keep giving her dumbass plots and a whole ass scenes with Team Flash. What's really going on is my question. It's mine too, because the writing with these two characters is so schizophrenic. I mean, maybe not Caitlin, because like I said, her story's been trashed for a minute, but Cisco's story is just, it's out of control. I don't know. And if he had said he was going to leave, and then we all know contract negotiations happen, and then the writers are told at the ass end, okay, he's gonna stay, they gotta come up with some shit. But they're not coming up with any good shit, because I feel like they're just like, we ain't got time, we gotta wrap up the good shit that we actually concentrated on this season. So Caitlin and Cisco and their decisions to stay on the show is not taken into consideration whatsoever when it comes to the script. Is my only takeaway from this. Iris know her ratchet ass daughter. She is ratchet though. She immediately asked about lightning bolts by naive ass Barry at it again. He's so damn irritating sometimes. Thank you. I'm glad someone else could see what I say when I say naive ass Barry. He be so dumb sometimes. After everything that just happened with Nora going back to Thawne and abruptly returning to 2019, is her stealing so far out of the realm? Whatever, I am going to wait for you and Cheyenne to take before I start spectacular about Barry and his stupidity. Because there was a whole lot of it throughout this entire episode. No, you're absolutely right. There is no take. He was being dumb as fuck. But Barry is like that, man. That's why Iris got to be the heart and has to love him regardless, because if you got to deal with your ratchet ass daughter, your dumb ass husband, but to be fair and give Barry his credit, he take them L's for people though, don't he? He'll take a bullet for somebody in a heartbeat. I was thinking about that as soon as he jumped in front of the lightning thing. I was like, damn, he just took a freaking blast of ice whatever and nearly killed his damn self for Joe last time. He's a lovable idiot. It's like his heart is in the right place, but his brain just doesn't work as quickly as it should, or as broadly as it should. I don't know, but he's new at this parent thing. Look at me already trying to defend him, but no, he's stupid. He is so stupid sometimes. He really is. I'm just gonna tell her, she can come home, and I'm sure that'll be the end of it. Let me move on. These past few months, I've been through a lot. I already know you about to curse her out, and I'm so ready. Nora, what the fuck are you talking about? You brought your dumb ass to the past. You decided to stay and change the timeline. You decided to continue working with Thawne even after you discovered what he did. You decided to not tell your parents about the truth. What exactly have you been through? Your dad tossing you back to your timeline after the truth was revealed? Everyone in Star Labs went through the same shit because of you. This bitch is straight up clown. I'm trying to have sympathy for this fool, but I can't. I love the idea of Nora, but this character is working my absolute last nerves. I think everyone feels that way about Nora. It's like we want to root for you. We really do. And I guess I could see on the flip side of that, Lamia, I thought in that one scene she was mentioning the fact that she lost her partner and that she found out that everyone in her life lied to her. That's a lot. I'll say that's a lot. But everything else after, and even coming back to the time, whatever the case may be, finding out this man knew your father, he could tell you things about your father that no one else will tell you and hasn't told you. I can see where Nora started. To me, every time it comes back to the mid-season finale. The minute that shit came out, the excuse is pretty much, I have none for you, Nora. I don't. You did the rest of the shit to your damn self. And I agree with you on that. Shikado, once again, Ralph for the win. My dude, I love him. When him and Caitlin had that moment as if they would have kissed, I would have thrown the fuck up. I agree. I'm so glad Ralph told her she wasn't his type. And the way he said it too, it just was like a burn. Then she goes, ew, gross. I'm like, no, he rejected you so coldly, child. And he did it softly too. He was like, oh, Keelan, really? I ain't really not my type. Like, I don't even think anyone can love me, and I still don't want you. When the satellite picked up something, Barry was so damn thirsty. Aw, Barry just wants his baby girl back home. Is that Nora? He sounded so cute. He did. Then he went dumb again. I shouldn't be laughing, but Nora blew me with that I hate you lightning tantrum. That's her white half coming out. Stop it, Lavia. I'm too sick to be reading this shit. Oh, that is her white half coming out though. Because that was a straight up white tantrum. Black people would have we wouldn't even have no words like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, we would have handled, because black kids know that's the shit you think, but you don't ever say that best. I agree. You'll not to look at your parents like, I hate you. And I looked at my mom and said that, she'd be like, oh, backhand into the wall? My son is half white, but since he got a black mama, he know better than to pull that shit with me. I swear to you, the way he talks to his dad is almost comical. I don't play that shit and he know better. The struggle is real in the streets for biracial kids. LOL, I'm so dead. That is so true though. I'm not even kidding you. My daughter was talking to her dad on the phone and he said, because he really don't work. So he told her that he's working and this means he's playing poker. And she clapped back at him so hard. Like, she was like, I can't talk tomorrow because I gotta work. She said, no you don't. And he's like, what did you say? She's like, and she made up this really whack ass excuse. And he fell for the tea and I looked at her like she would never. Like, that would never happen. I would look at my daughter sometimes and she'd just like, I'm sorry, mommy. Because black women got the look. We got that look that says at any moment you can go. And by go, I mean be deceased. Okay? Do you want to live or do you want to die? You ain't really gonna kill our kids. But we can give the look of death. Like, you might get some serious injury. Okay? Like, you've crossed the line. And you know it. And that's very true about biracial kids. They do. They have that white side. Like, when she wants pancakes with no fucking syrup on it, I'm like, that's your white side. Or when she wants to go run out in the fucking weather with no damn coat on, wants to wear some shorts in the middle of winter, that's your white side. But then I'm like, I'm ordering some Popeyes. Oh shit, with a hot sauce. Crazy B girl. LOL, damn it, I miss me some Cisco. He was really excited about an OG villain. He really was. He was like, oh shit, is this Throwback Thursday? Nora needed her ass whooped. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that way. Like, straight up earrings off, hold my purse, Vaseline up my face and limbs, hair in a ponytail, bitch knocked over my drink and flirted with my man in my face, kinda ass whooping. My blood is hot right now. This bitch threatened Cisco with a repeat of the way Thawne murdered him. That's a really low blow and I'm pissed. I do not like the fact that she got off with all these shenanigans easy. Nope. I'm done with the excuses for Nora. Me and her about to fight. I don't think that particular action can be so easily forgiven. He literally had nightmares even after Thawne was gone. Wow, the audacity. Yeah, I thought that was a little step too far. She could at least got one of the other ones to do it and it wouldn't have been so personal. Like, threaten him. Shh. Iris looks so fucking gorgeous and badass all the time, all at the same time. I can't believe how dope Iris and Joe looked in black. All in black, carrying those huge ass guns. I love them so much. And the cherry on top of the dope daughter daddy duo Sunday. He's lucky I don't throw his ass off a roof. Amen. Kicking ass and taking names. LOL. So am I supposed to forgive Nora? I love you like, oh, this is part of this fucking bitch right here. So am I supposed to forgive Nora's dumb ass because I don't? She a whole ass fool and I want her to get her ass whooped, even if it's just Shikata. No, I think Thawne's gonna put her down and I'm gonna enjoy it. Nothing she did is excused because she is trying to destroy Cicada's dagger and she didn't think her dad would believe her. Yeah, that was a little weak. Oh, I didn't think you would believe me. But you have a whole fucking other team. But I guess maybe she thought Barry was gonna speed her off some damn where. But, I mean, it did happen. But she still could have contacted Iris, I don't know, on the sly, who's in your fucking corner. There really is no excuse. I can't. As much as I try, I can't. I don't feel like it anymore. She had plenty of other options besides Barry, but she chose some villains. I really want to slap the shit out of Nora. And the next words out of Barry and Iris's mouth after Nora said she isn't going to follow through with Thawne's plans should have been, I want you to tell me everything he has planned down to the last microscope detail. I want to know it all because it can't be just that stupid gun. I refuse to believe it. I don't know. It could have. I didn't see them have too many deep ass conversations. I have no idea. I think he has a bigger plan. That for her, it was just the gun. But we ain't gonna find that out until the finale. Barry did not deserve her fucking tantrum. I will never allow my son to disrespect me like Nora did Barry. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. I don't give a fuck how old my son is. You'll never just curse me out and that's it. Ain't that the truth? I'm sorry. I don't even care if you're mad. You can talk to me like a responsible adult. Especially if we both fucking adults. You ain't just gonna sit here and... But I don't know if it was that bad of a curse out though. It was more like a tantrum than a curse out. So I don't give it the same amount of respect. If you disagree with me, we can talk about it like adults. But you ain't gotta throw a tantrum, a fucking tantrum, and then tell me you deserve, then you tell me I deserved it. Yeah, bitch, what? That's what we not gonna do. Barry needs to man the fuck up because he was wrong for not discussing taking Nora to the future without talking to Iris, but he wasn't wrong for feeling betrayed by her. Agreed. I wish more people would say that. At least Joe did. He's like, well, you was right. She did betray him, and that's why she's keeping it a secret. You don't hide information if you don't feel guilty or feel like it'll get you in trouble. Lord, please give me strength not to bust a cap in that ass. Amen, girl. I can't even disagree with you on this, really. Like I said, I could try, but I don't have any more energy to do so. Stina, I don't care what you say. That actress that plays Grace Cicada cannot act, and she irritates the shit out of me when she has speaking lines. Just know. I like this episode, but I hate that it made me completely done with Nora's ratchet ass. I think they fucked up with Nora, to be honest. They tried to go Bart Allen with her. It's just me suppositioning here. I don't got no facts. I think to me, the whole idea was, we want Bart Allen, we want Bart Allen, we want Bart Allen. She came on the scene very much like Bart Allen. Only difference between Bart Allen and Nora is Bart Allen is a fucking child. Or a teenager. Or something to that effect. He's supposed to act the fucking way he acts. Like, it's in character with him. Nora, however, is a 25-year-old fucking woman. And you see that came out late with that shit that she's 25. First, she was the same age as Barry and Iris, which is like 28, 29. Now she fucking 25. I feel like Jessica Parker Kennedy killed it during the audition. And they said, we really want her because she plays the best Iris and Barry. Well, fuck. Now we already wrote the script that is having this character that really is much younger than what the story is trying to portray her as. And then they just leaned in. They said, fuck it. Like the Flash tends to do. And that's what's ruined her character. Because if she was a teenager, we would be 10 times more understanding. This is what teenagers do. They're fucking annoying. That's why we hate them. During that stage in their life, we move on. But right now, she's not a teenager and she should know better, and she don't use her fucking brain, and she had a fucking job. So it's really hard to feel certain things for her because it's not meant for her age. It's just really not. And like you said, that was a tantrum. I don't even say that as a curse out. Barry saying he deserved it. He deserved some of it, but really not the I hate that. Yeah, it was too laughable to be taken seriously. Finishing up with your other thoughts, Iris asked Barry, having Nora in our lives has made us better people. Isn't it possible that she did the same thing to Thawne? The answer to the question is hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Oof, stomach. There's no way Nora's 45 seconds of interactions with Thawne changed him. He literally said Cisco was like a son to him, but was super unapologetic about killing him. Yeah, that's the thing she don't get. Even went as far as to say, I'm sure I had a good reason for it, when later confronted by Cisco. I'm really starting to get irritated by this storyline. It's too far out of his character for Thawne to be a good guy, and not even Joe wants to see it. Joe don't trust him. Joe said, I don't trust that dude. I will never trust that dude, but I trust my granddaughter. Joe said he trusts Nora. Motherfucking what? For what? Because it's his granddaughter. Family's first. That's just him. I think they're just like that. The Wests are, anyway. But I don't think that Joe believes. Like, he's team Barry. Like, nah, something fucking going on. Something else going on. We don't know what it is. But we can't really think 10 steps ahead because no one will sit fucking Nora down, like you said, and ask her the real fucking questions. Like, tell me the plan. Tell me everything he ever told you from the moment you met him. What has Nora ever done for everyone to suddenly assume that her emotional stunted ass should be trusted? She may feel deep in her soul that she's doing the right thing by blindly following Thawne, but everyone around her knows that she stay fucking up, so why are we so determined to follow her dumbass through fire? Because it's family. When has any decision she's made panned out? She saved Cisco. You're gonna hate me saying that shit because I know you love Cisco. She did save Cisco. That was her plan. When she slows down and thinks, she might be someone, but she never does that because she's excess. And that's why Iris had to put a dampening chip in her ass in the first damn place, because she's like, I cannot deal with this hot ass mess Barry child that I got. And she's more like Barry than I think we give her credit for. I'll wait because I can't think of any. Every time her plans worked out, it was because Team Flash was behind her and helped her twerk her shifty plan into something better. I agree, she's not super smart. No, I just don't get it. But I think trusting her has nothing so much to do with, not so much to do with, her being a good executioner of plans. I think with like Cecile feeling how she feels, and then the whole theme of, people who do bad things doesn't mean they're bad people. It's a mixed bag with that, and I'm sure on my next podcast I can go into a lot more, but I'm waiting. And I really want to get to Cheyenne too, so I'm not ignoring your thoughts. I kind of get it. I'm on the fence, but at the same time I get where you're coming from as well. Iris being an investigative reporter is truly disappointing to me. I love me some Iris West, but why is she being so damn silly about this Thawne shit? Okay, I'm glad someone else said it too. Because that's exactly how I was feeling. I was like, girl. Because she started off investigating, but like I said, I don't feel like they've even had really a moment to sit Nora down and be like, look, let's fuck it. Like, I feel like that's what Iris wants to do, but other shit keeps coming up, like a heist. And Nora doing dumb shit like running Alpha every 5 seconds. And there's really not much Iris can do in the investigation part. But she should be a little bit more cautious. And I don't feel like she's putting the amount of threat that Thawne is on the table. Like, she's kind of brushing it off. And I don't like that. She literally said last episode that he's manipulating Laura. So why is she so blindly trusting that he's changed? Changed people don't manipulate. They're honest and truthful no matter what. I'm really at a loss for words at this point because I can't for the life of me figure this out. And I can't be so forgiving for Nora's actions. She really did so dirty this episode, and it shouldn't be so easily forgotten. I don't care whose daughter she is. Nora pissed you the fuck off. That's how a lot of fans feel, though. She didn't work out. I think I'm always a little bit, I won't say I'm always. I think I've just been so late to the Nora hating party. as viciously, I should say, because up until a point I've tried to see it her way, because she is really terrible hard on herself when she fucks up, and she really reminds me so much of Barry. It's hard to reconcile one and not the other, but Barry has heart, and I just don't see enough of it. That's what it is Nora, all we get is her fuck ups and her mistakes and her acting like a bitch and her acting a tantrum and treating Nora like, that's the first half of the season. She was treating Iris like shit. Then they worked that out for 5 seconds until she got a mood, and then she was treating Barry like shit. Then the next minute she was just shitting on everybody. Then we find out she's working with Thawne, or we knew she was working with Thawne, but you know, we see that whole thing pop out. It just, there's not enough positive to offset the negative. And so at this point, it's so damn negative. It's so hard to see her point of view, because it's like, you haven't done anything selfless. Barry does selfless shit all the time. So when he fucks up, we can forgive him because he either karma comes back like a bitch and someone dies that he loves in front of him, or he really, feels the consequences of his actions. Whereas Nora, we haven't seen her do that at any time at all throughout this entire season. So it's hard to feel that for a character when you don't see them actually grow, progress, change, do anything. They're just the same selfish little brat that they are when they show the fuck up. And no matter how much she's been with the family, they're seeming to take her side on everything, where it's kind of like, no, I need Iris to go the fuck off, honestly. Seriously. I need her to get up in that ass. Like, Barry, he goes full code. Like, he goes full on code. But Iris needed to just straight up get up in her ass. And I think that would straighten the hell out of Nora. Like, she be getting up in Barry's ass when he need to be clapped at. Nora, Dad, that stuff I said earlier. Barry cuts her off and says, I deserved it. I shouldn't have left you in the future. I shouldn't have put conditions on you coming home. I'm sorry, and I love you. Now, I understand that Barry feels bad about abandoning Nora in her timeline, but seriously, children doing dirty shit needs conditions to come home. I agree. It's a little weird. It's a little more fucked up because of their situation, but on the whole of that, yes, I agree. If her ass was a crackhead, would it be so wrong to say, you can't come home till you agree to try and be sober? Also, very true. No. So why is Barry all of a sudden thinking he's a supervillain because he felt hurt and betrayed about Nora's partnership with Thawne? It's not so much he felt hurt and betrayed, is that he didn't even have a conversation with her. He heard her side of the story and just said, oh, well, I don't give a fuck. He didn't empathize at all. He didn't try to say, I'm sorry for what happened to you. I can see where you got to, and now I still don't trust you. At least tell me what happened. Like, he just went full, like a bandit. It's kind of like your child fucked up, and instead of trying to work through it, you just toss them out on the side of the street and you tell them don't come home. And then it wasn't even like he made that condition. He made that condition when he was talking to Iris. Like, okay, if she stops working with Thawne, she can come on home. I don't remember, and Sean, you come in too, him saying that to her. Like, oh, when you stop walking with Thawne, you could go. No, he said, don't fucking come back. If you come back to it, I will feel it. I don't want to see you no more. That's what he said to her. And then he left. He was gone. So, yeah, I can see her feeling a little bit more for that. Like, oh my God, I've known you for a few months, so I don't know you that well. And I love you, and I looked up to you, and I don't even get to have a childhood with you. And I made this really terrible mistake. True. I deserve everyone being angry at me for that mistake. Also true. But to then rip you away from everybody. You didn't get to say goodbye to your mama. Nobody. And then just leave you with, not even take you home. Leave you in the middle of the damn street. Look around and be like, don't bring your ass back. and then leave. That's kind of different. And this is her really big first fuck up. Usually when people are crackheads, they robbed you, then you've given them so many chances and nothing has worked out. And that's why you need to put that condition on there. I don't think that Barry, again, is wrong to put the condition on there now. And with the new information, say, look, hey, we can move forward, but Thawne's got to go. That's fine. But his initial reaction to it, how he treated her, yeah, that was dirty. It's like they're brushing over the fact that Nora literally betrayed him. Yeah, but I do think they need to come up with a little bit more for Nora, speaking on the other side of my mouth, of actually doing something to apologize and not just running off doing shit to try to fix her mistake by doing the same shit that was the mistake. Even after finding out the truth. Let me calm down. My stomach hurts. And not one time did she apologize for breaking her daddy's heart. This really makes me mad. It's not okay that the writers are brushing over Barry's legit anger and hurt. He should be sorry for giving up on her so quickly, especially without talking about it with his wife, the mother of his child. But he had a real reason to feel that way. Look at his life and all the betrayals, and this time it was his own daughter. They should, at the very least, had Nora apologize or have Barry tell her all of the tragic shit he's been through so that she'll understand why he's so truly hurt by her actions. I'm just so angry about this BS. I don't know what to do. I'm hoping after listening to your podcast, you and Cheyenne can put this in better perspective for me, because now I'm legit pissed and I'm sick of Nora and her bullshit. I think we're all sick and tired of Nora and her bullshit. But like I said, I feel like they are building up to the fact that she's gonna have to go all the way down. She gonna hit an L. She gonna hit an L. Alrighty, let's move on to Cheyenne's feedback. You guys are like my co-hosts. I love it. Hey, Christina. Well, I'm having another long week of work, girl. Let's not even talk about my week. I'm trying to get through. Of course, I had to get my thoughts in about The Flash. As for last week, just to clarify, I thought both episodes involving the Snow storyline was whack, but I like this one better because it wasn't as long, and it did have moments that I liked versus episode 6. Yeah, I feel like I was a little harsh on some points, particularly between any time Caitlin and her mother spoke, but no, that scene with Barry and Joe, that was really funny. Although the story overall was better in episode 6, none of the scenes worked for me. That's the only reason I was okay with this one versus the previous episode. This Snow storyline is like one of those gnats that you try to swat away and get rid of, but they keep coming back and irritating you even more. Agreed. It just won't go away. In the case of this storyline, why are they continuing with this boring ass now we supposedly have this mother being the ice queen that I will never call her the ice queen to contend with. I hope not, but I'm not holding my breath on this one. Again, this is the reason I think Caitlin is sticking around for season 6. They have to give her something to do next season besides sit around and look lost. Right? By the way, there's only 2 episodes left this season. You said some crazy number last week in regards to the episodes remaining. I did. I really did. I don't know where I was. Also, it was episode 6, Icicle Cometh, not episode 7, Come All Ye Thankful. Thank you. That was Caitlyn's centric episode. I kept saying that too. I was like, man, I feel like Come All Y'all Thankful is the Thanksgiving episode. Why do I keep saying that? You and Lamia had me dying last week with your feedbacks. I know exactly what you mean when you were talking about your daughter being sick. I can't count the times where I'm telling you kids to suck it up. Telling my kids to suck it up and go to school, LOL, only to realize they really sick. Then I have to go into mommy mode. Yeah, now she was sick and then gave that shit straight to me. Great. Man, I can't wait to hear what you both have to say each week. I'll miss this during the long hiatus during the summer. Sad face. Oh, that is going to be sad face. Let's not think about it. We're going to drink on the last episode. At least I will. As for this episode, it was a mixed bag for me. It was okay. I did not care for the young rogue storyline. The whole Nora pulling off a heist didn't do anything for me. This felt like a filler episode, which I guess isn't unusual for The Flash, because when I think back on it, The Flash does this every year, so we shouldn't be too surprised. It's like they are doing the calm before the storm. Yep. They did it last year with the stupid Harry and the Harrison episode. Oh my god, I didn't even watch that shit. Yawner. They did it in season 3 with Cause and Effect. Loved it, but still a filler episode. very true. Season 2 with Runaway Dinosaur. Again, loved it, but filler episode. And they did it with Grodd Lives in Season 1. Oh, good breakdown. Enjoyed that too, but again, filler episode. I don't know if I would define this as filler, just because the plot did move. If only a little bit. So this is actually a trend that the Flash, but there was a lot of character stuff, so yeah, I can see that. This is actually a trend that the Flash has done since the beginning. I think season 4 was the worst out of the 5 seasons. Agreed. This one, I don't remember Grodd Lives. This one was the second worst in my opinion. Aside from the West Island West scenes, I did not care for the villains of the week at all. They really didn't do too much with the negative Speed Force storyline. I was expecting more for that. That's because we waiting for them consequences. That's coming back. Let's go bite her ass in the freaking. The fact that she can sit when she's angry, that she could pull on the negative Speed Force, like it's enforced, like it's literally eating at her pot. I wonder if she's gonna lose her fucking speed. Oh shit! Oh yeah, no, she coming. She gotta come up and it's coming. It's coming. It's really coming. Lost my train of thought. Not sure what, but more. I think Nora would be able to go in and out of it so easily. I did enjoy the storyline, or enjoy the scene between Barry and Iris in the hallway. I can watch them do scenes together all day. Agreed. They have such great chemistry. I wish they had been giving us this consistency in the second half with them showing Barry and Iris talking more one-on-one, figuring shit out. I like how they show them having some lingering issues from last week, that it wasn't them talking about it last week and then acting like it never happened this week. Yeah, that was really good. Because some people are like, oh, it wrapped up too quick. Nah, I thought it wrapped up appropriately. The situation with Nora stirred up some lingering emotions about the Thawne-Nora thing. Iris going after Barry because he was once again about to go full steam ahead. She had to rein him in. Showing Barry having a hard time with Nora Thawne thing was good to see. Of course, it didn't help that he finds out she's using the negative Speed Force, right? Seeing that as another indicator of Thawne's influence on Nora and Barry's eyes didn't help. For a minute, I was like, oh shit, when Iris mentioned that Thawne convinced her to work things out with Barry. Barry was not happy to hear that, but it ended up being fine. I thought he was going to say something too, like, what you mean? Like, I thought he was going to zoom right back then at that moment, like, wait, you talking to my wife? Like my daughter, but my wife? Get out of your fucking mind. I keep losing my thought, I'm so sorry. That was just funny to me. I liked his talk with Nora at the Starchives. Nora got to express her anger towards Barry about what he did, so we got to see teenage behavior that they tend to have Nora do from time to time. Shaking my head, it's like writers. She's supposed to be in her late 20s, now mid-20s, for crying out loud. I love the scene with Barry and Joe. I love their talk about fatherhood. I'm so ready to see them experiencing being parents for real. I know I see y'all said for real. This is a fake. This is a dry run. This ain't real. She gonna disappear. And then they were saying that a lot in this episode. You can stay. Bitch, no you can't. Where's Iris at home? Iris Cause y'all think about future Iris. Okay, I know you broke it down to me. It's only been a little bit of time, but still. She wants her daughter back too. I know I said I could wait for Iris to get pregnant, but then I see scenes like this and I become excited again to see Barry and Iris deal with being parents to their babies. Of course, at this point, I know she's not getting pregnant this season, but I definitely think it's next season for sure. Too many references for us to go another season without her getting pregnant. Oh no, because she gonna go away and then they're gonna be sad face during Crisis, and then they're gonna have a moment where they're getting back to each other and they're like, let's make this baby. And then they think they're gonna make Nora, and then it's gonna be the twins. I did like how they showed Barry having his own doubts about his ability to be a good parent. He and Iris have taken this Nora thing hard, making them doubt themselves and their ability to be good parents, which is a natural thing to do with all that they have had to face. And the fact that they find out their future is fucked. In a lot of ways. I didn't care about Caitlin and Ralph's storyline, to be honest. Although I still love Ralph. I didn't mind it, actually. Mainly because it was so short. The Sherlock scenes were hit and miss. Some of his scenes where Cisco were cute but corny. I guess this is the start of them preparing us for Cisco's departure. I'm back to being confused about the Cisco. Does he want his powers gone or not? We're all confused. I guess it's like you said, he doesn't want to take away his powers without defeating Cicada first. I enjoyed the Iris and Joe team up against creepy Ragdoll. I enjoyed the Barry, Iris, Nora scene at the end with them reconciling. Ooh, that scene bothered me and Lamia like hell. So you probably gonna be like, what y'all talking about? I'm glad you liked it though. We finally get another quick look at Cicada 2 again. And of course, she's definitely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Having her imaginary uncle who she just killed saying their little rhyme together. We have 2 episodes left and I have no idea what the hell is supposed to happen. Although I believe Thawne cares for Nora, he still has a hidden agenda that will benefit him in the end. So he's still using Nora. So both Iris and Barry are correct. Thawne cares about Nora and is probably helping them defeat Cicada, but only to his benefit in the end. I also believe Thawne orchestrated this whole thing. So Barry is right to ultimately not trust him, but he can't trust him to help. But he can trust him to help defeat Cicada too. Again, they team up to take out a common goal all the time. It's really not out of the realm of possibility. It's how Nora did it. So it's a win-lose situation. I also believe that Cicada 2 is the other visitor that came to see Thawne, which is why she knew about the time spear. So I hope that gets addressed in the next week's episode. It should. They have a lot to wrap up. I think Barry might just finally go back and fucking actually have a real conversation with Thawne. Maybe they all should go. They have a lot to wrap up in 2 episodes. I'm sure Thawne's storyline will carry over until next season, so I'm not too concerned about his since I'm sure it'll be part of the cliffhanger. And I think announcing Crisis was both good and bad. Because there's a part of me that's like, well, Thawne's going to be in Crisis. He ain't going to die. He's going to be in Crisis. He's got to be in Crisis. So that's the part that it throw, because you know whatever is going to happen, he's going to get what he wants in the end. So I feel like they could have announced that later. So that we honestly could have been thinking, well, maybe he is good. But we all know he ain't. We don't trust Thawne. I'm sure I'm forgetting to mention something, but that's fine. My brain is turning to mush, so is mine. Thanks to the many hours I put in this week thus far. But you working hard for that money, girl. So hard for it, honey. I'm looking forward to you and Lamia's thoughts on this episode, and anyone else who wants to chime in with their thoughts. Yeah, other people out there in the world, send some feedback. blackgirlcouch@gmail.com. Like I said, the episode was okay for me. Nothing to write home about overall, but some great scenes within the episode that I thoroughly enjoyed. And then you had some additional thoughts, and you were not late, because I always get this shit out right at the last minute. I start recording like right at 9 p.m. And then it takes me that long because I got to do other shit too. I'm not sure this will make it to you in time for your next podcast. It did. I hope you had a lovely and productive week. Girl. We won't go into it again. After a long week of work, I finally had a moment to breathe. Girl, you better take yourself out and get your hair done, get your nails done, and get a back massage. That's what I want to do. It's not going to happen. Anyways, I wanted to talk about you confusing me in your last podcast. When you read my crack theory about Thawne and him possibly liking Iris, you said no because that's his ancestor. Oh, no. Did I? Fuck. I might have fucked that up. Maybe I confused that. Let me finish with your thoughts first. So basically you're saying Barry is Thawne's ancestor too, and if that's the case, why would he try to go back and kill Barry when he was a kid? Wouldn't that erase him for existence? Yeah, I really fucked that up, didn't I? Why would he do anything evil to Barry since that is his ancestor and he can't risk erasing himself? There is something to their connection though, which if the tornado twins didn't happen, didn't he do that already with just Nora existing in this timeline? Is that why he's doing resetting either his or Barry's mistake with them doing their own version of Flashpoint? I'm confused. I confused your ass. So he needs there to be twins so the male twin can do what he's supposed to do in regards to having children, and so on and so forth. Maybe that's Thawne's purpose in resetting the timeline to where the twins are here versus just Nora. Time travel is so freaking confusing. Even Marvel did some confusing shit with the Endgame movie. I won't spoil it for you in case you haven't watched it, but the fanboys are all up in their feelings about it being the best Marvel movie ever. even though that time travel stuff didn't make any sense, but whatever. By the way, I still think Thawne finds Iris attractive. Sorry, not sorry. Cheyenne. Okay, let me go ahead and clean up my mess. Because Lord knows I probably was on some stuff. So the last statement, Thawne finding Iris attractive. Look, I'm just gonna jump on the train with you and say, yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I have Wes Wells. I love Wes Wells. I do. And I can take a Thawne Iris thing either. I don't care if the bad guys are in love with Iris. I own it. I'm not ashamed. So yeah, because that look that he gave, that look, I keep seeing that gif with that last look when he's like, listen to your mother. And then he looks over at her. That look, let me tell you something. Tom Cavanaugh he did too much in that look. That look is still in my gift set today. I keep reblogging it. I'm like, that damn look. That look is everything. I don't even know what that look was, like amazement, admiration. Just like, damn, why couldn't we be parents to Nora? But you know, he was kind of thinking it though. But he's like, go pass shit up with Barry, because you know how he be. But let me explain this shit that I fucked up last week. So I don't know how I fucked it up, and I can't even remember what I said. But no, Thawne is not an ancestor of Barry. Their fates are intertwined, is what I should say. So remember, Eddie shot himself and Thawne went from existence. So he had like a doppelganger in the background rolling around. And that's who ended up on Legends, right? The second season. Yeah. So when Eddie killed himself, he effectively erased whatever possible future he had in like of that future playing out, where he would have had, or where Iris and Barry would have had the tornado twins. But he already fucked that up though. That's the thing. The minute Thawne came back, from what I understand, let me just start at the beginning, and then maybe Lumia and anyone else who is way better at this time travel shit than I am. And it has been a minute since I've read the Flash comics too. But basically, Thawne finds out that he's Barry's enemy, whatever, creates a negative speed force, travels back in time, and then, but these are two different versions. That's the thing that fucks me up. It's the versions of Thawne. There are several versions of Thawne out there. There's the one Thawne that came back in time and knew him and was fighting him in the future, right? And created negative speed force, and then became his own, speedster, and then all that hatred and everything pretty much made him exactly what he didn't want or whatever. And so in the future, for years and years and years, they've been battling. And then one day, Thawne has this plan. After everything has been happened, after Barry has had twins, because he says, remember, the future you isn't this stupid. This is way in the future. So this is way after he had the twins, So I'm guessing maybe Barry in his 40s is my guess. And him and Thawne have been fighting for all these years. And then Thawne finally has this idea, well, if I kill Barry before he becomes a speedster, then I can finally vanquish him once and for all. Because that's the whole thing. I feel like Thawne's caught up in this thing. I become what I hate, and Barry is to blame for all this. I don't know what else shit went on with them in the future that they have such hatred. I mean, well, I know why Barry has hatred, but Thawne has this weird warped. That's why I was like, I'm really not feeling the fact that they gave Nora that type of storyline, because it is just fucking weird. It's psychotic in a lot of ways, but Barry and it wasn't just Thawne that came back to kill the mom. It was Barry in the room too, future Barry, and they were battling, and then he killed the mom, and then that's what set off a whole new, from what I'm taking, a whole new flashpoint for Thawne. He creates a whole new timeline, and he's been living in that timeline this entire time, but he hasn't gotten back to his timeline. his timeline, he now no longer exists because Eddie shot himself and died. So now that's why he was running from Black Flash, because he's stuck in time. That's why he had to make Barry the Flash, because the minute that he tried to kill his mom and fuck shit up, he changed the timeline, whereas Barry never got his speed, and thus he never has his speed to be able to access the Speed Force. Where the negative shit comes in, I guess, yeah, because the negative Speed Force siphons off from the positive Speed Force. So you need the Speed Force he needs the Speed Force to function, which means he needs Barry to have access to Speed Force, which means he needs him to be the Flash. He did not take into account when he didn't plan on killing his mother, right? He killed his mother because he was angry. That was not his plan. So in this other timeline where Thawne comes from, Barry had a life. Like, he had probably a good life. His parents were alive, and their father never got framed for murder. He probably got the girl, had the twins, yada, yada, yada. He had his picket fence over there. Thawne came back in time and fucked that all up. So now there are two timelines where there's a future Barry somewhere in another timeline, but the longer Thawne stayed in this timeline, that's when it became his timeline, if that makes sense. So, trying to think from this point, because then he was erased. However, there was another version of Thawne still out there, but this other version of Thawne was, I don't know where in time he was at when he was on Legends, because he was off the chain on Legends. And he was way more evil to me on Legends than he almost ever was on The Flash. But that was Legends, and we can forget about that. And then we could just write it off as another version. Then the version that we're seeing now is the Thawne that was in the crossover in season 4, who somehow made it back, because that other version of him that was more evil on Legends got killed too. Black Flash got him, so he's gone as well. So this is another version of Thawne who stayed, that was let go during the event last year through the crossover. When he let him go, he stayed in this time period and moved to the future to do something. Whatever it was, it didn't work out for him. He ended up getting caught, and now he's in jail. Now the world, for whatever reason, the world in the future is a way, other than Barry's suffering, it's a way better place. Barry's gone, he's missing, but guess what? He doesn't have access to the Speed Force anymore. That's why I think he's in that fucking cage, is because Barry's gone, so he doesn't have access to the Speed Force, and he can't get out. The only person that can get access to the Speed Force is Nora. That's why he was so just like Barry. Let me show you how to use your powers and travel and do shit. But there's something that needs to happen for him that he needs to take out, which I think is Cicada. Cicada does something, or whatever the case may be, the dagger, whatever, is what brings about a certain events or something. So taking him, whatever, out of the equation made sense by changing their identity. Whatever he was doing, he was creating this new time thing. He's doing it some way. My guess is to bring about back his legacy, because he does not have one right now. He fucked it all up. He does not have a line anymore, like a bloodline, because Eddie's dead. And so he really needs something else to carry on his legacy. And I don't think that is him. I think that it's got to be Godspeed. To me, somewhere, I don't know how they're going to explain it up, but it's going to be Godspeed. That explains it. In that other timeline, it wasn't that they were ancestors. It was, and I should have said that word, ancestors. I should have said they were family in a certain sense, because his, which one is it? Is it Dawn? I think it's Dawn Allen that ends up with a Thawne, and then they have a baby, and then that becomes Bart Allen. So just think Romeo and Juliet have a baby, And now all that the family's been battling forever for so long, but now they have this child. And then there's a lot going on with Bart Allen, which is really awesome. So, and then that's kind of where we get in the comics, where we move on from Thawne and we go to Godspeed. So if my thoughts are kind of accurate, all fuzzy on that, that's where, how they're going to put it together, I don't know. But that's where I was going with that. Like, he would never hurt Iris because Iris gives birth to the children that will one day become his grandchild. So, yeah, that's where I was going. But yeah, he definitely want to hit that. And that is all for me, guys. It is midnight, so I got it in. I recorded it on Friday, and it's going up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you want to send feedback, you send that blackgirlcouch@gmail.com. You can find all my podcasts on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean, at Black Girl Couch Reviews. Oh shit, let me fill up that real quick. I saw you on my Podbean, girl. I saw you, girl. You my boo. But yes, I got 2 new followers. And Candy, thank you for following. Appreciate it. So shout out to you guys. And then that's it. Till tomorrow, Black Summer. Hopefully I'll be feeling better. I should, because I'm about to knock out for like 12 hours. This has got to go. Do not like my stomach feeling this way. And it's all for me, guys.